Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I'm your host Sandman. Today I'm going to be reviewing the CI Practice Lock Cylinder Lock Holder and Pinning Tray by Manifold 3D. Let's get into it. So this is an item that I found on Etsy. I regularly check Etsy for any locksport related arts and crafts or, makerspace type stuff where people like to just provide unique items for the locksport hobby. And this is something that I thought was pretty neat. I'm a big fan of picking locks in hand. I'm one of those old school pickers, and some of you guys who don't want to make that $100 investment on a pan of ice are probably getting really comfortable with picking in hand too. But how do we pick really small locks for long periods of time? Well, simple enough. We can buy a practice lock cylinder lock holder like this one here, and this one's very unique because it does come with a space for your turning tool and for two of your picks. Now this one is marketed towards covert instruments, but you could probably get away with a lot of different tools in here. I don't see any reason why you can't. I mean, these are coming like 25 thousandths for the FNG. This is essentially a holder for the FNG and the training lock from Covert Instruments, but you could put any turning tool you want in here, within reason, and any turning tool that you want in here within reason too. So I have a rake and I have a short hook. Obviously I have my practice lock in here, and this is fun. I can still hold this and pick in hand, but I think this is a really neat thing. It has these two little side, like, I don't know if I can say corrugated or little hills or something, but essentially what would replace a set screw that holds. This would be a mortise cylinder. This is a mortise cylinder, and this was actually finished by Pacific Lock in California, where they put the knurling and they tap the tops and put the set screws in here, and they do that for Covert Instruments. And then these go out to the Covert Instruments facility, and then they ship them out from there. So a lot of work is done to these. And then someone, off of Etsy, the Manifold 3D, he made this this 3D printed adapter here that holds these mortise cylinders. So a mortise cylinder is threaded, and as you thread it into a mortise case, you then put a set screw on both, or one side or either side, or both sides, and then that'll hold that in place. And so he has something similar to replace that set screw, so this doesn't rotate in there, and that's super awesome. And then you could put any turning tool you want in there. You know what, I probably could put 3 different turning tools in there. I'd even try. Let me see if I have turning tools here and see if I can do that. I have a whole bunch of turning tools. I have all my Covert Instruments turning tools here. I think I could probably put more than one here. Yeah, okay, cool. I can put my entire turning tool set here, and I could put my 2 favorite picks. So if you have the Genesis pick set, you could probably do that. You know what? This would be a decent idea. What if he made one of these with like 4 slots up here for the Genesis? Oh, snap, I would buy one. So this is essentially for the FNG, but if he made one with 2 more slots up here, you could fit all the tools from the, so you could fit all the tools from the Genesis. And it just so happens, if you were to buy there's like a bundle that they sell on Covert Instruments websites where you can buy the Genesis and the training lock. And the bundle is like $80. Sometimes it's on sale for like 75 or $70. So if you were to buy the bundle, then you could buy this. It would make total sense. Oh man, that's cool. I don't know. Anyways, I'm thinking out loud here. I apologize. Let's see. Yeah, it does obviously it's gonna fit all the other turning tools that they have. So that's cool. I only have one drawback to this, and that is there's nothing in here that will keep this in here. This is super comfortable for picking, by the way. I really enjoyed picking locks in this. But you're probably not gonna be something you're gonna be raking a lock in, because it's not super practical to rake a lock in this, because that lock is not fixed in this position. So the lock kind of moves around a little bit. Oh, we got to open. So that was actually a 5-pin SC1 keyway here. So believe it or not, I actually know how to pick locks sometimes. But let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and put in a bottom of keyway turning tool here. And so I have bottom of keyway, and let's go ahead and try to rake So let's rake. And you're gonna see that lock move around in there a little bit. So I don't think this is the best for practicing your raking. I don't think we all need to practice raking inside of a holder like this. I think this is just a really neat display piece. However, you can put your thumb here, brace your hand against the table if you really absolutely needed to be like, oh, I gotta rake this thing open because I gotta prove something to my wife who's probably watching me and I'm failing. So anyways, my raking is just not on point today. So you are going to have to put your thumb there. That's not a deal breaker. It's no big deal. I've seen some of these. I have a couple of these, from different vendors, and I probably should have brought them for this review. But they have a little hole on the side, and they'll have like a set screw with like a wing nut on the outside, and they'll have a nut on the inside, and it pushes force on there. I don't think that's necessary. I don't care that this thing comes in and out. I like that. Here's how I'm going to be using this. This is super comfortable, by the way. This is the smooth version. There are two different versions. There's a smooth and a fuzzy, but I'm really just using this to like show off my favorite tools. That's all. I think it's great for just that, for just showing off my favorite tools. So, but yeah, I could totally like take this somewhere, put it on the desk, take it, and be like, all right, let's go to town, and then, pick it and put it back. I could, but I like to just have it for showing off my favorite tools, and then I'm probably just gonna just pick locks like this, honestly. So, but this is comfortable. I like that. Maybe even further attention to detail, it's not needed, but that would be cool if you put like some felt on the bottom. Maybe as an additional cost, you could select a felt pad on the bottom here, like 3D printed Locksport does on their products. Furthermore, for the same price of $20, I didn't even talk about the price. I'm so sorry. The price is total of $20. You get both of these things. And so you have a pinning tray right here, which I think is perfect. It's very similar to the size of the Covert Instruments pinning tray. And that's it. So $20, you can't beat it. I think it's a really great price. I think it's neat. I spend a lot of money on 3D printed stuff. I think that's the future right now. And that's all I really have to say. It's pretty painless, pretty simple. Go to Manifold 3D. I'd like to tell those guys, I don't know them personally. I paid $20 for this. I bought it, and then I was like, hey, man, I just purchased this. It's going to Austin, Texas. And I was like, I have a YouTube channel. I do reviews. And he's like, oh, cool, man. And that was it. So these guys, I paid for the product. They didn't send me anything for free or anything like that. It's an honest review. I think it's cool. I like it. And I think this would be fun to give to people as presents. It's super affordable, $20. You can't beat that. Oh yeah, it comes in different colors. Let's talk about those colors. So you can get this in black, pink, blue, red, or white. And that's pretty cool. People say, oh, Sam, why don't you go with red? Well, the black contrasts better with the red in my videos. So that's why I go with black. So, but red is my kind of color, you know what I'm saying? If I had my own lockpicks, they would have red handles, that's for sure. So let me know in the comments down below, is this something that you see within your budget? How could you make this better? I don't know if you can make this better. I think it's pretty cool. And I'm really glad that I have this, but I'm really surprised that I figured out on camera that, oh, wait a minute, this actually holds all of my turning tools. And perhaps if they added an option, they could have a Genesis option. Like that would hold 4 of your tools up here and then the CI practice lock. And I just love that this sits on my desk and stays out of the way. Like I can just, put it away. I love that. Because if you're like me, you like to just be like, all right, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna pick some locks. You sit down, you pick a lock, and then you go about your day. Like I like to pick locks while I watch TV. I can't just sit still and not do something. Look at that. I'm going to use bottom of QA now, apparently. I don't like that feeling at all. But I like to pick locks while I watch TV, and I think this is super comfortable, super practical. It is what it is. Let me know in the comments down below. There's some weird noises going on outside my house. It sounds like aliens are landing, and I'm very curious as to what is going on. But now I just want to pick this lock. This thing's addicting. I like holding this. It's super comfortable, and it makes you want to pick the lock, and it's doing its job. My dad, let me tell you a short story if you made it this long into this terrible review. My dad has over 80 guitars, and he was also a luthier. So he used to work on guitars, and he worked at a music shop and worked on guitars for several different music shops. And I asked my dad one time, I said, why do you have 80 guitars? And he was like, a guitar's job is to make you want to pick it up and play it. And he goes, if a guitar can do that, then it's done its job. And my dad felt the need to have 80 of them because every time he walked into his basement where he kept all these guitars, he would just look at one of them and he'd be like, man, I want to pick that up and play it. And I think that's cool. Some people need more than one guitar to get that feeling. Some people don't. Some people just, you know, only have enough money to buy one. Some people get excited just looking at their favorite guitar. I'm kind of the same way. That's how I am with locksport. That's how I am with tools. Something like this, and now I can't pick this lock. I picked it earlier. Okay, now we got it. Something like this makes me want to pick it up and just play with it. And it's done its job. It's done its job. So I think that's what's cool about it. I love showing my love for my favorite tools. And I love supporting the community. And I think it's a really cool idea. I like that he added a place for your turning tool. And I have yet to use this. I think he could have sold this by itself for $20, but he threw in the pinning tray. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. That's all I have. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Mr. Sandman, bring us, please, 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 Mr. Sandman, bring us all a dream.